hymns. It's good. It's always good to have a mix of hymns you know and hymns you don't know. Mostly hymns you know. And liturgy usage, just being able to switch liturgies, learn new liturgies, just so that things don't get stale after doing a year of singing the same liturgy. Then it loses the meaning of the text, quite frankly. So I just sort of make sure that we keep a rotation of new liturgies, old liturgies, that sort of thing. And lastly, the choir anthems, which I sort of view as another almost mini sermon. It's another message that's given out to people. The idea of a choral anthem didn't exist before Mozart came along. You choir folks, the Mozart Ave Verum Corpus, Ave, Ave, was pretty much the first square in a box church anthem. It didn't really exist before then. The concept didn't. But it's something that's very affluent and very widely used in what we do. So, and again, yeah. Absolutely not. I hate it when people do that. Quite frankly. Because you don't listen to it, you're too busy reading it. It drives me nuts that we print the words of the gospel. That drives me insane. You should be listening to it, not reading it. But that's my own personal opinion. That has nothing to do with any of this. But that's just me. But then, and again, the manual on the liturgy, which you can tell I'm a fan of the manual on the liturgy, says that the music of the service in general, and the accompaniment of the liturgy in particular, should reflect the character of the service and its theme. So all of the music, is chosen by looking at the gospel, reading through the gospel. I choose 70 to 85% of the music all around the gospel. A lot of music directors pick the hymn near the psalm to go with the psalm, and I don't do that. Say, Pastor Doug preaches on the gospel. So all of the music generally is centered around the gospel. So that's a big part of what I believe, and part of what makes the music flow. But, yeah?
Back to the previous point, Bach wrote a whole lot of music for services that was considered choral anthems.
That was not considered a choral anthem. Because all of it, if you look at all of Bach's music, it had a function within the service. It worked to serve as a this, or it worked to serve during this. So Mozart was really the very, very first person that said, here's an anthem to be an anthem. Yep. I think that might, yeah, so that's about that. So that's a whole lot of information in, 20 minutes? But, so I don't know, do we have, questions?
I appreciate how you answered my question. However, being a non-choir member, I would encourage you to write an article for the intercom. And once in a while, maybe every 6 months, to run the same article to explain the importance of the choir anthem and what is a choir anthem mean, and that is to be held in reverence as much as a sermon. People are not talking during the sermon. What are you having for dinner tonight? During the choir anthem, trust me, what you're having for dinner.
That's true.
I really would appreciate that. Aside from giving dirty looks, and my mouth is shut, but people need to be taught the reverence of that song, that hymn.
Makes sense.
And from you, it would fly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know how, Jim, Joe, and Mary view these things. I just know how I
But
view
they
them
need to
from
be
hiding
taught
it.
how to, Jim, Joe, and June need to be taught how to.
Yeah.
It's a challenge because in our world today, we've gotten so much more casual.
We have.
That's true.
That even our 11 o'clock service, which is our more formal service, gets less formal than it used to be.
Well, and in some ways I think that's good, and in some ways I think that's bad. There's a fine line between, saying to the kid, shut up, and saying to the kid, hey, listen, they're saying something cool up there. You should hear what they're saying. There's a very fine line between the two. But Elizabeth?
In addition to what Jody said, our singing is during an offering of clink, clink, and money, and ushers walking up and down and all this. And really, if it is to be part of devotional aspect of the service, it should be separated from the actual collection of the money. And I know that's a sore point because it's an efficiency, but still, it does make us just sort of a filler.
That's true. Yeah.
It's a good observation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was wonderful. Please do it again.
No.
No, I'm serious. No.
Okay.
Keep it and do it again. It's wonderful. And I think the Sunday